All right, I just want to welcome any audience that shows up and enjoys it, lurkers too, to the first session of Exiles in the Mist, a Mists of Ravenloft campaign with a little homebrew thrown in for D&D 5e. We're going to be using the Fantasy Grounds Unity interface, which I'm pretty excited about. Um, and yeah, if you like what you see, please feel free to click that follow button down at the bottom. We'll also be adding this to YouTube throughout the week, later in the week. And we will be playing this every other Sunday, so hopefully you guys can check in. Um, since I've got you guys here listening before we get started, I want to point out our players. We have 3 characters, 3 players. Um, we have Eclipse. If you tune in and recognize him or his voice, you may recognize him from over on the um, Virtually Heroes channel. He's a good guy. Say hi, Eclipse. We also have Heathcliff is the name of the character. We have Druzzlplays. Please feel free to check out his YouTube channel. He does lots of content regularly. It's a good guy to follow. Say hi, Heathcliff. Somewhere around here, we also have Abel Gherkin, or Gurk as we all call him. Um, we're excited to have him. He's not a regular streamer like the rest of us. He's just your average guy who's probably going to be better at this game than the rest of us, knowing that, because we're all going to be tryhards. If you're able over there, Gurk, can you please say hi? All right, looks like we got somebody in chat already. Look at that. Um, I just want to once again welcome everybody. A few disclaimers before we get started. This is a horror-based campaign. We're going to aim for PG-13. We're going to try not to cross that bar. My players have all, we've talked about all of it. We're all ready to go with that. To that end, if anybody gets uncomfortable, trigger warnings, please feel free to drop it in chat. I don't want anybody uncomfortable. Now, we're still going to, of course, continue the story, but we will try to, I'm paying attention to chat as we go, so we will try to make sure we're not pushing anybody's buttons. Unless you came here to have your buttons pushed, and then feel free to say in the chat box what's going to freak you out the most, and we'll make it work, I promise. We also do have members of our party that are new or relatively new enough to D&D, so this is going to be our 5th edition, so this is going to be a learning process for them. This is a learning process for me. Fantasy Grounds Unity, this is my first campaign to try and run in it, so be patient with us first few sessions as we get through the kinks of getting it started. And then we also have players with health issues. We want to be an accessible program. So just be wary of that. If any of our characters go missing at any particular point, don't judge. They are dealing with real life outside of the game. So that said, without further ado, are you guys ready to get started? All right. All right. We are going. Right? We've been waiting forever. I've been saying we were going to do this since before Christmas. All right. We are going to start first with Heathcliff. Heathcliff, can you tell us a little bit about your character?
So my character is Heathcliff. He is a rogue Damphir who leaves his incisors out just enough to be off, but not enough to just flat out give him away as a vampire. He is wearing black and dark gray. He's got a leather duster over basically leather armor, and he has a short sword and a couple daggers.
All right. You are from Faerun, the Forgotten Realms, the world of Abertoril. I say Abertoril because you're from the world pre-Sundering, pre-Second Sundering, as it were. In the midst of, we'll call it civil disturbances outside, you find yourself holed up in a little apartment, a little one-room apartment, when you get a knock at the door. Assuming you answer.
I would. Hello?
Standing at the door is a messenger, hood up, and he hands you just a small piece of paper that's folded up.
I'm going to pass him think I just have gold on me. I don't think I have any silver. All right. So I'm gonna say, I'm gonna see if I can do the voice the whole time, but it may not work. Thank you very much, sir. I don't have anything smaller than a gold currently, otherwise I'd tip you a silver. Can I interest you in a glass of water?
He waves his hand silently at you, and this hand, you see he's wearing like a full head-to-toe robe, jet black. It's pulled up basically over his head so that only you can see a pair of gleaming eyes from behind it. His hand is gloved, but something about the motion is almost fluid, and it seems to just like he's trying to like push it aside to be like, no, I'm okay, thanks. And he just sort of gestures at the letter with an open palm, and then bows to you before turning to walk away unless you stop him. He hasn't said a word.
Did he or I get any indication that he wants me to read it while he's there?
Nope.
Okay. I'd look after him a little puzzled and shut the door and then read the letter.
Okay. As you open it, it contains directions to an they're familiar directions. They're just outside of town, but they lead to an unfamiliar place. You've never been there. And inside the message simply says, they need your help.
All right.
In fact, let's go ahead and tighten it. You realize very quickly as you're reading this, they need your help, that the runic script that's used is the same runic script that you see around town for markers for the Thieves Guild. This is Thieves' Chant, the written text of it anyways, the glyphs of it, and the text says they need your help.
Well, then I would pack up my things and head out to the area that it would be at. Once I got close, I would start being a little bit more cautious and moving a little slowly since it's a unfamiliar meeting location currently.
Okay. Moving to the side. Eclipse, can you do me a favor and describe your character?
Absolutely. My name is Eclipse. I am from the plane of Innistrad. I am a tabaxi with a penchant for nature and the cosmos. And I love traveling and coming across any mysteries that I can.
Fair enough. Weapons of choice or armor visible on you? Any type of specific uniqueness to your clothing? Or how about your markings as a tabaxi?
Well, my markings as tabaxi on my thighs, as well as the back of my ears. I do have a couple of spades. And since I was born with those, I do like to use them and give an excuse to gamble every once in a while.
Ah, I like that. I like that a lot. Okay. Upon the plain of Innistrad, you are actually from a village known as Hanweir. Hanweir was, at one point, the agricultural center of Gavany, so it makes perfect sense that you were a druid there. Druids were common where you're from. But you have begun to notice in recent weeks that your town, while your town has gone a little weird, which is saying something on Innistrad, being from Innistrad, you know vampires, you know werewolves, but right now in particular, you know the danger of angels, and particularly the madness of Avacyn, the guardian angel of the realm that you're from. And Hanweir has decided that it is tired of the chaos that has come in the wake of her madness, and it has basically declared independence from the church. But that's not what's weird in town. You yourself have noticed that shortly after the village declared independence, the town bell has begun to ring constantly. Like they just ring it constantly. They never stop. It runs 24/7 all day long. And if that's not annoying enough, the town council in the last few weeks has declared that no one eats meals on their own. The town holds like mandatory gatherings for breakfast, lunch, and dinner at the town hall, and that is where people go to eat. The entire town gathers there. Moreover, in the last few weeks, you've noticed more than a handful of women giving birth to children that have given birth to twins, and that's it. All of them, nonstop. Everybody's throwing twins. It's very, very strange. Every time one of these pairs is born, you get a ringing in your ears that sort of silences the bell. And to you, it sounds like a chime getting closer and closer and closer every time one of these pairs of children is born. Now you find yourself in your home. Typically as a druid, I'm guessing your home's probably something modest. It's up to you. I mean, is your home a modest home?
Oh yeah, nothing too fancy.
Yeah. So, and the bells are ringing, and it's about that time of day for the mandatory meeting when there is a knock at your door.
Mm-hmm. I wonder who that could be, and I go and answer the door.
When you open the door, laying on the ground in front of the door is an amber crystal, which we need to add to your character sheet, but it's an amber crystal that is just this shard just laying on the front stoop of your home.
Out of curiosity, I cautiously pick it up.
The moment you touch it, you hear a voice in your head. It sounds like your own voice, but it throbs and it bangs. And it says, "Now is the time. Only one of three can be trusted. They will need your help." And all of a sudden, these directions to a spot outside of town become known to you. And town is like impossible to get out of right now. Like they've locked the town down as these mandatory meetings and stuff have started to happen. But you know from working out in the fields and stuff around the town, you know that this particular path that has appeared in your head has that it's an unguarded path. So you have these directions to a familiar yet unfamiliar location and a message that only one of three can be trusted, and they will need your help. What do you do?
I grab all my essential materials because I have this strange feeling I won't be back for a bit, and I go on my way to the directions provided.
Excellent. This rolls us around to Abel Gherkin, our friendly neighborhood dragonborn. Abel, describe yourself for me. Whoa, your mic, buddy, is very muffled.
I don't know how to fix that.
You what?
I don't know how to fix that.
That was a little better.
I still don't. I didn't do anything.
Interesting. There might be a latency issue, like too far from your mic or something, or from your connection.
I don't know. I can always try my computer.
Yeah, try connecting to your other mic if you can. And let me know when you have connected.
I will. It's taken a little bit.
Well, that sounded perfectly clear.
Then maybe it was just a hiccup in my internet.
Maybe. Let's go ahead and try to wing it while you're trying to get your other stuff figured out. You want to go ahead and try to describe Abel for us?
So I'm a fairly tall, black dragonborn paladin. I'm wearing chainmail and carrying a longsword.
Solid. Any descriptive features that make you unique?
No, not really. Other than the fact that I'm a dragon, I look like a dragon. Got my ears pierced. Got rings going up both sides of the rim of my ears.
Nice. Nice, I like it. Okay. Gurk, you, sir, are from the plane of Eberron. You, in particular, are from a land known as Sire. And right now, Sire, which is known as the Wondrous Sire, or the Jewel of Galifar, or even at one point it was known as the Purple Jewel of Galifar's crown. Sire is at war right now amongst the five nations. And you know what everybody in Sire knows, that war is coming to a pinching point, that within the next few days something is going to happen in this war that is going to turn the tide. Everybody knows it, and because of this is a mass exodus from Sire. Thousands of people have tried to escape. There are lightning trains, which is a sort of steampunk train that is a monorail, that have been evacuating people. And you find yourself this particular morning on Sire 1313, which is the last train out of town.
Okay.
And you've been sitting here on this train for 2.5 hours. It was supposed to leave an hour ago, but something has held it up. And enough questions have been asked, and enough people have been pushed around and asked, that they have actually emptied the first 2 cars of this train, which you are on. So as you're walking off the train, you realize that they're holding it up because they're trying to get this VIP onto the train. Everybody is talking about it, like this VIP has to get on here. It's a politician of some sort, and that people will be let back on the train. They just need to get this guy on safely first. While you are standing there, you get a tap on your shoulder, and a voice says in a sort of chortling way, Abel Gherkin. Question.
Yes. I acknowledge.
And when you look, you see this black hooded figure whose hand waves at you in an almost fluid way, pulls out a message and hands it to you.
I read it.
Do you just open it right there and read it?
Yeah.
Okay, you pull the paper up in front of your face and read it. And as you're reading it, it says, "The train won't make it before the dead gray mists. If you wish to escape, I know them that need your help. And they will need your help. And it has directions."
If people are in need of my help, that takes precedence over most everything else. So
Fair
I would
enough.
immediately go.
Even though you know this is the last train out of town?
Yeah.
Okay. As you climb off the platform and you're walking away, you hear the engines start firing up and people are screaming like, "What about letting us back on board?" And in the distance, center of town, there's almost an explosion. It's a very big boom. Man, these ads are ridiculous. I'm paying for Spotify. This shouldn't have happened. I fixed that like yesterday. Oh well, this is free advertisement for them, I guess. I'll get that figured out before next time, guys, I promise. Anyways, from the explosion at the center of town, which you can see because the train station's up on a hill, you do see this white-gray mist just come billowing out of the center of town and begin to engulf the city behind you as you're walking away from it. Now, as you are all walking towards your destination, I need to skip to the next thing. And I need to click on this button. Okay. Following the directions in the cryptic message you received, it does not take long before they lead you from familiar roads onto a disused trail overgrown by weeds and the roots of spindly trees. A light drizzle begins to fall as you travel. As you approach a wooded crossroads, the leaden rain makes the cloaked form standing in the center seem all the more unreal. How do you react to seeing this in the center of the road? We'll go back to the beginning. We'll start with Heathcliff.
I would be. Yeah, I'd be just still trying to lurk in the woods, trying to see if they mean us any harm or anything like that before I approached.
Well, mean you any harm, because you are alone on the road that you're on.
That's what I meant. Trying to ascertain who they are, where they're from, if they're actually real, or whether it's just a figment of the
A mirage
through
in the rain.
Yep.
Eclipse, how do you react to seeing this hooded, robed figure in the center of the crossroads a little ways in front of you?
Honestly, I think my curiosity gets the better of me, and I want to go in and investigate it some more.
So you just speed up a little bit?
Just a bit, yes.
Abel, how do you react to this figure in front of you?
Hail, fellow traveler.
You just call out to him?
Yes.
The figure's head snaps up. You all three see this. The figure's head snaps up, glaring with piercing yellow eyes. What you took for a cloak spreads around it, revealing itself to be a pair of mighty black wings. With one powerful motion and a blast of chill air, the wings sweep, and the vague figure is gone.
Not one for company, I guess.
You say that out loud. You other two, Eclipse and Heathcliff, you hear someone say, not one for company, I guess. And then the three of you notice each other. Heathcliff, Eclipse and Abel, you two notice each other. But you notice movement from a third fork at this crossroad. That is Heathcliff. He didn't say he was being intentionally stealthy. I'm going to roll a stealth check, so I'm not going to throw it in. But he did say he was lurking off to the side, so you see movement where he was. And Heathcliff, you see the two of them.
After watching whatever that was fly away, I would cautiously approach and ask what obviously is not part of the guild, who these people are and what they're doing out here.
You would ask, wait, what? You would ask out loud, or?
Ow. I would walk out and go, what brings you fine gentlemen out here on a night like this? Also, what was that? Big black wings and yellow eyes, and made me feel kind of creepy.
And then I'll respond with, you think that's unusual? I mean, here in Innistrad, we tend to see that on the daily.
The moment he says here in Innistrad, obviously, Heathcliff, you know you're not in Innistrad, but Abel, in particular, you have this weird inkling in the back of your head, and you are not only certain you're not in Innistrad, you're also certain you're no longer in Eberron, where you're from.
Oh.
You know that undoubtedly. Completely undoubtedly. And as you look up to maybe mention this, and it's up to you if you do, you also notice Heathcliff's shadow moves sort of against the lighting of the rain as lightning crashes, and you swear that it's moving independently of him.
So immediately, I would say I think we're all a lot farther away from home than we anticipate. Hail, friend in the shadows, we mean you no harm. Show thyself.
I think he's talking to you, Heathcliff, to like come to stop lurking as you're talking to them.
I'd already come out.
Ah.
Yeah, but I had that whole speech planned, and you didn't let me get a word in edgewise.
So I see him actually still doing that. So do you respond with "I've already walked out"?
I did there. So, did you look at like my character when you said that?
Yeah, I said the thing about not being as close to home as we might think. I was looking at Eclipse, and then I immediately turned to you to finish the come on out. We mean you no harm soliloquy.
I'm gonna look behind me and be like, "There's nobody else here but me and the two of you."
As you look behind you, Heathcliff, you notice that the day, well, all of you notice that the day's drizzle has grown into a rainstorm, but you notice that the path behind you is shrouded in a complete foggy haze. A greenish-blue mist engulfs the road.
And we can't go back. Great.
Well,
He says you can't. I was about to say. He says you can't go back. Who responds?
as they, we can't go
back is
back.
not-
One can only move forward.
Going back is not an option. Their souls in need and help they shall receive.
Ah. So one says we got to move forward. The other one points out that there are souls in need and help they shall receive. So this man is expecting to help someone. Do you guys respond to that?
I don't mind helping those on my journey to solve the mysteries of the world.
Do you guys investigate where the Birdman took off from?
Yeah, of course. I'll go take a peek. It's like, let's go see where that shadowy figure, where he left from. He may have left something behind.
Can I get investigate checks from everybody? Or you can volunteer to use your passives.
I'm going to do my passive.
Your mic is cutting out again, Abel.
I'll go ahead and roll for investigation.
Okay.
Ah,
Got a 17 from Eclipse.
plus 1, so 18.
Ah. Oh, 6 from Heathcliff. And then Abel, you said what? I'm going to assume you said passive, but your mic is muffled super bad again.
Are we supposed to click something before I roll?
I'm about to tell you exactly where to do that as soon as I figure out
Okay.
what's going on with Abel's mic.
I don't know. I think I'm in a different room, but it still shouldn't be affected.
Definitely a thing.
Yeah, it's cutting out really bad whenever you get too far. Are you like moving away from the router? Because that's weird. Maybe your walls in that apartment are concrete walls, because that would cause an interruption.
I don't know.
Well, I'm going to assume passive is what you had said.
Yes.
Okay. Your passive is skills. Investigate. Your passive is just a 10. Okay. So Heathcliff, on your character sheet, if you go to the skills tab, investigation, you'll see that you have like a star there. If you scroll over, oh, you actually should have had a +3 in your investigation check, so you're actually looking at a 20. Where it says the number +3.
You mean you're talking to Eclipse, not Heathcliff?
I apologize. Eclipse, my apologies. And I'm looking at the Heathcliff character sheet. Okay. Take 2. See, we all have issues. Skills tab. investigation, you do only have a
Mhm.
+1 there. Where that +1 is, if you want to roll that +1, you can actually click that number, drag it over to the chat box, and drop it in the chat box, and it'll roll and include the modifier.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Or like toss it in the chat box.
Yeah, it's actually, so the cool thing about Fantasy Grounds is I'm pretty sure it has a physics engine, because the harder you're moving the mouse when you release it, like it actually factors that into the roll, and it bounces on the walls of the chat box.
Oh, interesting.
So, but you got an 18. You are the only one that spotted it, so that's fine. I am going to drag a parcel onto the party sheet inventory. Party sheet is in the tool tab, top right of the screen. You'll see the 2 crossed swords as combat tractor. The 3 sort of silhouettes standing next to each other is the party sheet. In there, you can see, well, I can see, I don't know what you guys can see. I can see the entire party's inventory and the entire party's gold content. But I can also drag in a parcel, which I will now describe. You find 4 enormous black feathers, and then of interest, a planchet. Do you know what a planchet is? Do you know?
I know
Eclipse?
No, I don't. I don't think
It
it
is-
is what I'm thinking it is.
It is the spade-shaped object that is used on a spirit board. The small
Oh,
decorated,
okay, I did know
the
that.
small
Okay,
object is
yeah.
decorated with bird skulls, and it doesn't appear to have any other function as far as you can tell.
Okay. Can I possibly roll to try and identify the feathers?
Absolutely, this would be nature, or I would allow Arcana, but nature's going to be your strongest
They're,
bet.
they're both the same for me. So, let's see, I drag the number and roll.
For an 8, it's just giant black feathers.
Okie doke.
Would you like me to drag these items onto your character sheet inventory?
Sure.
It separated the feathers when I tried to drag it. I have to drag them one at a time.
Oh, fun.
I wonder if it added them as separate items or if it stacked them.
It did
stacked
add them. Or yeah, it stacked them.
Good, good. I'm okay as long as it stacked them.
They added them as separate stacks.
Separate stacks of 1.
And when I say these are enormous, I mean when you hold one feather up, it's the length of your forearm from like fingertip to elbow.
Well, all right then.
All right. Do you reveal the planchet or the feathers to the party?
I see no reason not to.
Party reactions.
I turn. It's like it looks like he left behind, or the figure left behind, 4 of these enormous feathers, as well as this planchet here with these symbols. I'm very curious.
Could I try to identify them?
You absolutely can. Roll me a nature or arcana check.
20.
I would hope so.
And I just got word from chat that chat can't even hear the music, much less the ads.
Hey,
It's
I
on
guess-
an ad now, chat. Can you hear it currently? We can keep moving while we're waiting for a response. Affirmative, they can hear the ad. So I had to turn it up in Discord, which means you guys may have to turn it down on your end again.
Okay, that's fine.
Look at you, listening to Spotify while you...
Look at you,
That-
listening to Spotify. Good lord. This bot is going to be my issue, man. It's gonna stress me out.
Did you end up changing the description for your stream?
I supposedly did, because I had it set in OBS. So, oh nope, it changed the title back too. Goodness. So I have the category right, but I don't have the title right. Why did OBS change those? When it first connected, I bet it used the auto settings from the website that were the last thing I did instead of using the OBS tags. I'm new to OBS too, guys, so this is great. This is my first stream with OBS, even though I've had it for a while. Heathcliff, you got a 20. There is no doubt in your mind that these feathers come from a lycanthrope. But not necessarily a wolf lycanthrope, obviously. A theranthrope, I think would be the term then.
Yes.
So I would, yeah, I'd share that with the party.
Interesting. You say we're no longer on Innistrad, but those also tend to be from Innistrad as well.
A voice rings in the back of... Not a voice, a feeling rings in the back of your head. Dear Heathcliff, I'm going to go to your character sheet and I'm going to roll and see how this comes across, because normally this would only trigger on a nat 1, but what the heck, it's a roleplay moment. Dang it, why do I keep grabbing Heathcliffs when I mean Eclipse?
You haven't said Heathcliff, so I was waiting for you to...
I know. I realized it after I said it. It's a work in progress.
Session 1, everyone.
Yep. There has been a gnawing sensation in your mind for a while. You know what that gnawing sensation is because you once made a deal that gave you knowledge of the cosmos. That gnawing sensation at the moment feels distant, impossibly distant. Far enough that you know that the thing you made a deal with is whatever realm you're in, it is not.
Curious.
And you feel it now when you think about it. You felt it when you mentioned Innistrad earlier as well. It's like a gnawing emptiness, a longing for something that just isn't there. So, you guys are in the mist. You found the feathers. You know that they belong to a theranthrope. And you have 3 paths shrouded in mist. Do you stand around and get to know each other before you move ahead? Do you party together to move down one of these roads? Do you all wander your own separate ways? Please don't wander your own separate ways. That wouldn't be conducive to the roleplay. But do what you got to do. I'll make it work.
I say that it seems that we are in a new land. I know not where. But traveling by ourselves is probably not the safest option at the moment.
Was that an agreed, Abel?
That wasn't agreed.
Okay. It was muffled again.
His
at least
mic
on my
is
end.
still struggling. Yep.
I was like, do you happen to have like Discord on your phone?
Yeah, he's doing it on his phone. He needs to. I think you're gonna have to move it to your computer.
Oh. It's like, it's funny enough, I'm using it on my tablet.
In the meantime, Eclipse, while you're describing it, might be good of you to work together, lightning crashes, and you also notice the same thing that Abel noticed earlier. Heathcliff's shadow nods to you in agreement. Visibly, you see it in the lightning. That sounds better. Significantly.
Hey, Heathcliff, is there something off with anything particular? Possibly something of the shadow variety?
You just ask him outright.
Yeah, that's what I do. um,
I don't know what you're talking about as I pick up a little tiny pebble and toss it to my shadow so that it has something to play with.
When you toss it to your shadow, it doesn't react to you. Whenever you look at your shadow, it seems to move normally. However, this is not the first person to ever tell you that your shadow is doing something of its own. It seems to be an increasing event ever since you became a Damphir.
okay, well, I suppose to each his own.
So, the party has decided to work together, yes, or at least two of them have.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Heathcliff, will you be joining them?
Yes.
Okay. What would you guys like to do?
I say we pick one of the tunnels that looks like it might have been traveled most recently
One
and
of
head down that one.
the roads, yeah. There's only 3 forks here. There's the 3 that you guys came down. When you turn around you, you see that you're at a crossroad fork of 3 roads, and mists shroud each road. So do you just pick one blindly and start walking?
Pretty much.
Does everyone follow him?
Yeah, I don't see why not.
All right, Abel, I need you to roll a percentile for me, please. I can roll it for you if you're unable.
No, I got it.
Okay.
Oh, maybe. All right, hang on. That didn't roll in the chat box for some reason. $33.
33.
After finding yourselves wandering in the mists for
33 days.
for 5 hours,
That's better than 33 days.
you find yourself at another crossroads. A very familiar crossroads. Do you continue further into the mists?
Do I notice any footprints?
Though because of the rain, you wouldn't.
Okay.
You could roll me a survival check.
Oh, okay, that I can do. Grab this, drag.
Because hey, if you nat 20, you never know. Yeah, you notice that the mud that would have been present. You're pretty sure you're right that this is the same intersection, but you can find no proof of it.
Okay, well, I let them know. It's just like, I have this inkling that we happen to have just gone in a circle, so...
Without leaving the road that you were on, walking in a straight line, you've walked in a circle.
With, yeah, I would say this is, extremely weird and odd, but I have seen weirder. So I recommend we don't take the same path. Let's try a different one.
Okay.
Okay.
As long as we stick together.
Eclipse, roll me a percentile.
Ooh.
Roll any die. I'm using a random table to determine what happens to you right now. If you roll an odd number, bum bum bum. Wow. We are about to have our first encounter in the mists.
Huzzah.
A wandering monster encounter. Look at that roll. I need to pull up a map for you guys. As soon as I figure out where they are. Give me just one moment. You guys can feel free to sort of talk amongst yourselves while I do. Or be silent.
Sorry, I was just looking at something. It looks like I'd forgotten to add spells.
I cast Divine Sense.
Oh, excellent. Divine Sense allows you to sense undead, correct?
Yes.
And I am going to go ahead and set the channel to be right back while we get this set up. Audience, feel free to take this moment as a bio break while I help my players get prepared for this combat. When we come back, we will get this underway.
Don't change that channel.
Absolutely. And if you like what you see, please feel free to click that follow button. All right, we are back. Sorry about that brief interruption as we were trying to figure out how to do something we had never done before. I said it before, some of us are newbies to this situation. Players, feel free to zoom in on that map. I know it's a rather large map for only a tiny part visible to you. For right now, treat the blackness as the fog that's rolling in. All right. Are my players ready?
I do believe so.
Yes.
Ready here.
Okay. Now I said it, Abel Gherkin, you sensed things milling about in the fog, undead. And slowly,
I drew my sword.
Yep, you drew your sword. And slowly, these skeletons come wandering out of the fog. Now, undead might not be strange to Eclipse.
Not so much.
And Abel, you've definitely trained at fighting undead. But as a general rule, all of you, they're not part of your everyday life. So these skeletons just wandering out in the middle of the road like this is got to be a little bit unnerving. Can I go ahead and get initiative checks from everybody, as well as reactions? Eclipse, your initiative is on the main page of your character sheet.
Okay.
Very center of the character sheet.
Fantastic.
And then I need yours as well, Abel.
I'm working on it. I have a touchpad as opposed to a mouse, and it's not cooperating.
Maybe I should just go turn an elephant in Circus Delay.
There you go.
That is a lot of critters, Tiger Paladin. For everybody wondering, Tiger Paladin is Bengali, another good friend from Virtually Heroes, and I want to call him out. My Be Right Back screen and my Starting Soon screen, both are primarily his works. So everybody say thank you for him. I never knew how to create those kind of scenes until after he helped me out.
Thank you.
All right, everybody's initiatives are rolled. So we'll start with Heathcliff Valentia. Heathcliff Valentia, these skeletons come wandering out of the fog towards the center of the crossroads you find yourself at. What is your reaction?
Considering the fog and the creepy situation, probably not as visceral as it could have been, but definitely unwelcome.
Something I want to point out, I don't know if it was done on purpose, but just I hover my mouse over the different skeletons and they're numbered.
Yep, what about them?
They're numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 9. So it implies there's more skeletons because certain numbers are missing.
Yes, I know.
Okay. I didn't know if that was
As a
like,
general
oh,
rule, we'll have this as an out-of-game moment, and I'll explain it. As a general rule, that thing will auto-populate numbers in it, and you'll know exactly how many critters there are. So I set the numbers to random.
Okay. That's what I was asking. It's like, I don't know if he wants us to know how many
Yeah,
creatures
you won't know how many creatures there are because the numbers are now randomized.
Perfect. Okay.
And this, so for me, this skeleton over here on the left, so in front of me and to my right, his grin is really creeping me out. So I'm gonna pull my bow off my back and try to shoot him.
Skeleton with the creatively grouchy grin. That's also another one of the random numbers that'll pop up, is sometimes we'll get descriptions.
I had to point it out just so that it was there. All right.
I'm not sure which one that is. When I mouse over them, I can't see.
The one on the far left.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Or a 13 to hit.
You hit.
Excellent. I am going to target him and roll damage. Woohoo! Absolute minimum.
That's still 5 damage.
5 damage.
He's heavily wounded. He is not happy about this, and you see him glowering at you.
I'm also going to move up over here, so I'm next to Abel.
Okay.
If you would like to approve that.
I thought I disabled that. You should be able to move on your own, but I'm clicking the check mark. Why isn't it approving? Something is weird. We're having another issue. Why won't it let you move? Whoops. That just
Maybe
removed him from the map.
Maybe because it's not actually my turn?
Aha! Why isn't it tracking as actually your turn? There you go.
Cool. I'm going to move up here.
Haha!
And in my turn.
Thank you guys for sticking around as we learn more about our gameplay. And to answer your question, they are able to target in the program. I've actively asked them not to target for attack rolls. They can. They're more than welcome to, though. I have an expansion or an extension that I've added. So, Abel Gherkin, your turn, sir.
I'm here. Don't think I left. Let's see. I'm gonna. Oh, let me see something. I'm just gonna run up and attack him.
Who would you like to run up and attack, sir?
Number 4. Or 6, I mean.
So run up.
I'm working on it.
That is a successful hit.
And you want me to roll damage directly onto him, right?
Either or. If you roll it directly onto him, it'll apply it. So. Wounded. He sort of scrapes that off against the swing of the blade, but it does not stutter him too much.
Okay.
Is that your turn?
I'm done, yes. Can you pass for me?
That brings us to The grouchy grin. Who makes his way across the map to the man that struck him. And swings his short sword at you. It's a hit unless you can do something about it.
Nope.
Okay, the short sword strikes home. For 5 damage.
Ouch.
That's a pretty hearty hit. Passes to Skeleton 1. Skeleton 1 draws out a short bow and aims it at Eclipse.
No.
Knocking an arrow, he lets it fly. For a miss.
Yes.
Skeleton 13. Knocks a short bow and fires it at Abel Gherkin. Haha! For a nat 1 automatic miss on the fumble table. The arrow just sort of snaps free and falls to the ground in front of him. Skeleton 2. 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Places himself here and takes a swing at Eclipse. $16 to hit. I didn't roll it on you.
Yeah, that hit.
Oof. 7 damage.
Ouch.
Skeleton 4. With advantage, swings his short sword at Abel Gherkin. But first I gotta select advantage. There we go. A 15 to hit Abel Gherkin. Your armor class is 16. That is a miss.
Huzzah.
Skeleton 6, the one facing you. Again, with advantage. A 22 to hit.
That hits.
Oof. For 8 points of damage.
Ouch.
Skeleton 9. Is going to short bow from where he's at Abel Gherkin. For a miss. Eclipse, that brings it to your turn. And the whole party is beat the heck up.
Yeah, just about. Let's see here. That's the case. I can go ahead. Can I see how much like HP other players are at?
You can open the combat tracker, and I think you can see it in there. I kind of disabled it though. If you actually look next to their character sheet or their character tokens, you'll see that yours has a red bar, Heathcliff's has a yellow bar, and Abel's has a red bar. That shows effectively your current health.
Okie dokie then. For touch spells, can I do it diagonally?
As long as you're in a square adjacent to your target.
Okay. I will go ahead and move over here.
That'll provoke an attack of opportunity from Skeleton 2.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot that's the thing.
If you leave a threatened square.
You
can move as far as being right next to Heathcliff, but if you go any further past him, it'll trigger that attack of opportunity.
Okay.
Theoretically.
I will do that then. And then I will use the spell Cure Wounds on him.
Oh, okay.
And I just drag the number, the heal number?
Yes.
Okay. Hey, it's yellow. So 6 plus 4, so 10. Oh, was I supposed to drag it onto him?
Onto him directly, yes.
Okay.
If you drag it onto him directly, it'll auto-trigger it. If you roll it just in the dice box, it'll just be out there, and I can apply it. Or he can apply it. So it's up to you how you roll it. But if you drop it directly on him, it'll auto do it.
Okay. Yeah, I'll do that real quick. So I just drop it right on him.
Right on his token.
Same number.
Same number. Boom. You are back to full health, Heathcliff.
Nice.
Buddy, make it count.
Gonna try.
Eclipse, I'm going to go ahead and do what most GMs wouldn't and offer some out-of-game advice. You have moved a grand total of 10 feet. I would suggest finishing your movement by getting around behind the skeleton that you're currently threatening. So run back to where you were and then down 1 square.
So like this?
Yes. Now, because you're adjacent to Heathcliff, when it goes to his turn, he will have advantage against that skeleton.
Oh, okay.
Advantage means his attack roll will have 2 d20s, and he takes the higher roll.
Yeah. Okay.
So, and the same thing would apply to you when it comes back around to your turn. Are you going to do anything else for your turn? Bonus action? I don't know if you have any bonus actions.
I don't think I have any yet.
Okay. To pass turn on the combat tracker, there's a little button on the bottom left corner labeled Next Actor. It's like a triangle pointed down.
Where's the combat tracker?
Aha! Right side toolbar, top right corner, the crossed swords is
yep, I see it.
Combat tracker.
So turn complete.
Boom. Top of initiative. Why didn't it give initiative back to Heathcliff? Okay, that's weird. Well, the initiative's yours now, Heathcliff.
Awesome. Well, I am going to watching Eclipse heal me and then move on the other side of Skeleton 2.
Time out for a second. I think I just figured out something with the combat tracker. I want to push a button and find out.
Sure.
Cool. Now I know why it drops off. Apparently in Fantasy Grounds Unity, if it drops off, there's a button labeled Next Round in the bottom right corner of the combat tracker.
Okay.
So
Nice.
round 2 of combat has begun.
Fight. All right, I am going to drop my short bow and draw my short sword. Can I do my short sword and my dagger? Just my short sword.
So for your item interaction, you can draw a weapon. And then as part of your move, quote unquote, you can draw a weapon as well. So
Okay.
arguably you can drop the thing and then draw 2 swords, or draw 2 weapons.
I just may have to. I'll have to move in the middle, technically.
Technically.
Okay, so I'm gonna draw the short sword for now, and swing at Skeleton 2 with advantage. Or a 22 to hit.
That is a hit.
And because of sneaky roguey shenanigans, I get sneak attack. For 11 damage. I forgot to roll it on him. I'm sorry.
On Skeleton 2.
On Skeleton 2.
Skeleton 2 takes... I need to adjust his wound. 11 damage. Dropping him unconscious.
Do skeletons have consciousness?
Yeah, I'm going to go with no.
So I'm going to take 5 feet of movement.
I like that it popped up the skull and crossbones for the dead skeleton.
I like that too. And I'm going to draw my dagger in my offhand and attack the creative grouchy grin skeleton.
Oof, unfortunately. Unfortunate.
Yep.
Is a miss. Anything else for your turn?
Action, bonus action.
You can move further if you want, but that's about it.
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna move back. Actually, I'm gonna move back all the way back over here, so that I have partial cover against Skeleton 1 and Skeleton 13.
Good call. Anything
and
else?
Then end my turn.
Got another ad on Spotify. Abel Gherkin, it is your turn.
I am going to attack again.
Same one?
Yes.
Okay.
For the Spotify thing, if you have YouTube Premium, you can use music from that.
I do not have YouTube Premium.
Ah.
That is a hit, Abel. I paid for Spotify so that the ads wouldn't pop up. Do you want to re-roll that directly on him?
He did.
Oh, did it? It did. Anything else, good sir?
No, I think I'm done.
Grouchy Grin swings a short sword at our dear friend Heathcliff. That is a miss. Swinging blindly. I'm going to point out, you were worried about your main hand offhand, Heathcliff. You know you could dual wield short swords, right?
Yeah, I don't have a second short sword.
What about the skeleton that died and dropped one?
I didn't know it had a short sword.
They all have short swords and short bows.
Excellent. Good to know.
Skeleton 1. Draws his bow. Oops. I gotta scroll my map back up so I can see you because it moved me down to him. He connects with a 23 to hit.
Ouch.
For 5 damage again.
Hey, at least I got my arrow back.
Fair enough. Hey, arrows against a skeleton, come on.
It worked. It hit the first guy.
Yep. 13 is firing at Abel Gherkin.
Jesus.
For a 7 to hit, that is a miss. At least they're bad shots.
Right?
Skeleton 4 is the guy adjacent to Abel Gherkin. Short sorting. For a 7 to hit. Skeleton 6. Is the other one adjacent? Short sorting. Oh. Well, I'm not going to go back, but I should have rolled that with advantage. You got lucky that time. For a 16 to hit. Uh-oh, Gherkin.
I think that hit.
Gherkin is unconscious. He runs across the field towards Eclipse. Skeleton 9.
Dang it.
Firing a bow at Eclipse. Eclipse, you currently have partial cover because Skeleton 6 is standing in his way.
Yay.
Mr. GM, would you mind explaining what partial cover is, real quick?
Partial cover is basically anything blocking line of sight. Gives them basically it gives you a +2 to your armor class or a -2 to the target's attack roll. You can have partial cover, 2/3 cover, or full cover. With 2/3 cover, it's a -5, and with full cover, you simply cannot target. For the record, though, he got a grand total of a 5 on that short bow shot at you because of cover.
I do believe. Yep, very much missing.
Which brings us back around to Eclipse. It's your turn.
Well, my original plan is now not going to work. So, what do I do? When it says 15-foot cube, what does that mean? So is it says self and then in parentheses 15-foot cube. So does it mean that affects everything in a 15-foot cube around me?
I believe so.
I'm looking at the Thunderwave spell.
Did we lose Carl? Or Fizzy?
I'm sorry. My mic was being off. I was trying to... Whenever it goes to one of your guys' turn, to stop me from talking over you, I flip my mic up on my headset. And sometimes I forget to flip it back down. So always remember, if you don't hear me, feel free to ask. And then I'll start talking.
Okay, then.
A wave of thunderous force sweeps out from you. Each creature in a 15-foot cube originating from you. Yeah, so target self, 15-foot cube. You are in the center of that cube. So one square around you in every direction, and that's including up and down.
Oh, okay. I see what that means. Okay, gotcha. So...
Because we're still playing the whether or not we help somebody or not game. That means that if you were to move adjacent south to the right of you,
that's what I was looking at.
you would hit both of those targets.
Yes.
Or could hit, as it were.
Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. I will cast Thunderwave.
All right. There is a button. If you expand that, the magnifying glass, if you expand it, there is a button labeled Cast. If you click and drag the dice from Cast on Skeleton 6 and on Skeleton 4, it will auto-roll their saving throws. Or you can just cast it and drop it directly in the chat box, and I will tell you whether or not they succeeded on their saving throws.
Okay. So... that... So am I dragging the little red thing in the top right of the or left of the description?
No. You're grabbing the little black dot. So the red thing says damage. The black dot says cast. The black dot is actually a dice.
Oh, I see it. Let's see. What's that? Okay. Nope. I see it now. Oh, that's what all that was. Okay, that makes that a little easier to manage. Okay, so I take cast and I drop it on both of them.
Yep.
So I'll drop it on 6 first.
He succeeded at his saving throw.
And then I'll drop it on the other one.
He also succeeded at his saving throw. I believe they still, I'm going to read it, I believe they still take half damage.
They do.
Okay, it should auto-calculate that in when you roll damage on them.
Okay.
So now you would grab the damage token and drop it on them.
It shows me picking up 2 dice.
Yeah, because it's 2d8 thunder damage.
But they only take... Oh, okay.
It splits the final damage in half.
Gotcha.
Okay.
There.
Okay.
So, not good. Okay.
Not super high. Anything else for your turn?
Nope, that's going to be it.
All right, next actor button. I can push the next actor button if you would like.
Oh, no, I got it. I forgot about that. Sorry.
Next round. Heathcliff, your turn.
And it just skipped around?
It did just skip around. We were on 2, and Eclipse ended his. It went to round 3, but didn't flip automatically to me.
Weird. Ignore it.
It will matter later for abilities that are up consistently and have
For
round
multiple
counts.
rounds. Yeah, I'll keep track of that anyways. I have a little notepad for that.
Okay. Well, I no longer have advantage or sneaky tackies. So I am just going to attack Skeleton with the creative grouchy grin that is still freaking me out with my short sword.
Oof.
For an 8 to hit.
Oof. That's a miss, sir.
All right. So I'm going to move here, and as my movement, I'm going to stow my dagger. And then I'm going to move here, and as my movement, I'm going to grab the short sword from...
As your item interaction, you mean?
As my item interaction in my offhand from the down skeleton. Which means I need to up this number to a 2. Yeah, I'll just flip that to offhand. And then I'm going to attack the skeleton with the creative grouchy grin with my offhand. For a 10 to hit.
That is a miss, my friend.
Excellent. Knowing that skeleton's going to move around, I'm going to move back up here and end my turn.
Abel Gherkin, I need a death saving throw, sir. So that's a D20. That is a success. All right.
Yay.
Grouchy Grin's turn. He smiles at you. That grin is turned into a full-on smile. Rotted, decaying teeth. For a 12 to hit? I don't know what your armor class is. 15. That is a miss, despite his toothy grin. Skeleton 1. Fires a short bow at you. For a 21 to hit. for 6 damage, dropping you unconscious, Heathcliff. Abel, you find yourself, or not Abel, sorry, Eclipse, you find yourself standing on this battlefield, your 2 allies downed. You're surrounded by these skeletons. Behind you, you hear the toothy-grinned skeleton speak, and it sounds more like clicking that manages to form words as it comes out. Is this the best the domains have to offer us? And no sooner than he says this, does this massive cloud of smoke drop in, or of mist drop in around everyone, engulfing the field. As it comes up to you, you hear a voice in your head, a blatant voice, your own voice, that says, "Oh, there you are. Did you think you could get away from me?" You feel like a vibrating sensation in your pocket, and as you reach down into your pocket, you realize that's where you had placed the amber crystal, the amber shard. And as the mist closes in around you and then washes back away, the skeletons are gone. Which I have to individually clear, which is going to take a moment.
Time freezes for 2 seconds.
I think Carl took pity on us and didn't want a TPK at the very opening of his new game.
No. I don't know who this Carl person is either.
Oh yeah, sorry, my bad.
And then as the fog washes back out, Heathcliff and Abel, I need you both to make me Constitution saving throws.
Can you please roll that for me?
I can.
As I missed the chat box.
Hey, crit on the Constitution.
Oof. Abel, you gain a level of exhaustion. You currently have disadvantage on all of your saving throws. Heathcliff, you critted. You are not only not exhausted, you're wide awake. You like pop up as the fog's rolling back out. The skeletons are gone, and standing next to you is Eclipse.
Do I still have the short sword?
You do still have the short sword.
Well, that was a weird dream. Why
It's
do I still have this?
because, and you know this, it wasn't a dream. You are certain of it. As much as you ask that out loud, the visceral realness of this short sword, its ancient design, its black rusted blade, you know that this is real. And as you ask, why do I have this? And you know it's real, you look up and notice, I believe it's you. What's your passive perception?
Passive perception is 15.
What's everybody's passive perception? Well, not Abel, he's unconscious.
I don't know how to see the rest of them, but
How do you see passive?
Your passive perception is it listed somewhere?
yes, it's on the main page under senses. It'll say perk. PERC.
Oh, 16.
16, 15 and 16. You both notice just off the road, up a slightly less misty hill, a golden light shining, like there is something lit in the fog up there. Do you guys wake up Abel? Do you go check it out? How do you feel? We will start with you, Eclipse, since you were already conscious and functional when all this went down.
I will go and try to rouse Abel.
Which is not difficult. You're able to arouse him fairly easily. How's everybody feeling about this mist that rolled in and saved you from the fight?
Listen, I am personally a bit.
You are still wounded. You are not
Yes.
healed. Them falling
I know.
unconscious healed them.
And I'm a bit shaken from hearing the voice.
Abel, you're roused awake after this battle that you know should have killed you.
First thing out of my mouth is 5 more minutes, First Father.
First Father. Interesting.
It's like, get up. We don't have time for this.
You recognize the voice as being that of Eclipse, the man you met in the mist.
I get up and I'm just tired.
Tired and sore. Alright. While he's helping him up, Heathcliff, this is about when you notice the light in the fog. So you both have noticed it. How are you reacting?
I'd still be staring at the short sword going, but there's no way. And then eventually being like, all right, fine. And I'd grab the scabbard off of the skeleton, put the short sword in and attach it to my belt. And as I look up, see this light and be like, hey.
There's no skeleton to grab the scabbard off of.
All right, then I just stick the short sword in my belt.
Create a makeshift frog for it.
Sure. And as I look up and see the light go, hey, what's the glowy yellow light? We should... Based on what just happened with the skeletons, I'm not sure we should go towards that light. Are you all sure we didn't die? Because I sure felt like I died.
Yeah, I'm fairly certain. I'm still hurting from what we went through.
I have a headache. I don't want to die and go to heaven with a headache. I'd be all cross and wouldn't enjoy it.
But it's not like we have anywhere else better to go at the moment.
Is the light the only indicator of anything? Like, does it look like the path leads anywhere?
No, it's
Or
literally
are we just kind
walking
of in a clearing with trees.
You're in a clearing. You're technically still on the crossroads, which you guys can close that map. There we go. You are just looking up a hill, basically, and everything else is densely filled with mist. But the mist and fog seems thinner up the hill.
I say we head that direction. The danger looks less.
At least give us further lines of sight. I concur.
Okay. Group, pick somebody. One of you. I don't care which.
1, 2 Eclipse, 3, 4 Heathcliff, 5, 6 me.
You gonna roll a dice for it?
Yep.
5,
Me.
6, Abel. Abel, I need you to roll me a d6 again, please. All right. As you make your way up the hill, I'm going to see if I have pictures. I hope I have pictures. If not, I know where to get them. I don't have pictures. Well, that's rude. As you're making
No
your
pictures.
right, as you're making your way up the hill, you notice gradually the haze and brush give way, revealing a bald hilltop. there stands a grim black tower, the last defiant turret of a long crumbled fortress. Attached to this tower is a 3-story manor house, weather-beaten and veined with ivy. A porch girds the entire house, its sagging roof sheltering a stout front door that stands open and emits a flickering light. This was the light you saw through the fog. You notice a wagon out front with a pair of horses. Actually, it's got a team of horses, 4 horses, and a pair of women unloading it. One of these women has ebony black hair tied up in a bandana, very colorful clothing. She seems to be carrying stuff in the house. Just outside of the house, standing next to the wagon, is another woman. If you had to guess, she's a nun. Like, she's very much in matronly church clothes that would straight up recommend that she's from some type of convent. And they are unloading this vehicle.
I would offer to help.
You just walk up and, hey, can we give you a hand with that?
Yeah, pretty much.
The nun seems startled and looks over the group of the party and goes, Ez? Hey, Ez, do you want to come out here and check this? We have visitors. The one she refers to as Ez meanders her way out the door. Ez has... I'm looking for my description of Ez. Because, of course, it tells me to flip elsewhere in the book, not actually right here in this module. Because why not? Sorry, one sec.
No worries.
Really? It's not listed? It says chapter 3. I'm in chapter 3. Yeah, it's not there. Okay. Oh, the description of the nun is in chapter 3. The description of Ez is not. Great. It's alright. That's okay. I can make this work. As she approaches out the door, you see she has a weapon drawn immediately, like nervously, but ready. She has a rapier in her hand. Her colorful garbs have been pushed back. You realize that what appeared to be a dress at first is this neon orange jacket that's like leather, and it's brushed open. There is a slight thudding sound when she walks, and you realize that is because her right leg ends in a prosthesis. And she looks out at you and says, "Hail, travelers! Name thyself and tell me if you are friends or foes."
Abel.
I'll saunter forward, still, hurt. And I'm just like, greetings. My name is Eclipse, and as you aren't currently attacking us, I'd say we are friends.
"And you there in the darkness," she says, looking at you, Eclipse. Or not Eclipse, Heathcliff. There, I did it again. Heathcliff.
It's either one way or the other way, so
Right. Do you introduce yourself?
Oh, yes. Sorry, I didn't know that's what you meant. I would walk forward and offer a small respectful bow and introduce myself. My name is Heathcliff. We were lost in the mists and saw a light and ended up here. We
That rolled for Abel. Keep talking.
we three came upon a crossroads separately from each other and eventually ended up in a fight, and now we're here. We don't mean to intrude, but you're the first people that we've seen for several long hours.
At this point, the nun takes a step back, specifically from you, Heathcliff. And she sort of, you hear almost like a hissing sound, like when she jumps back, like she's looking at you with simultaneous fear and anger, as sheathes her sword and holds up a hand and says, "I think they mean us no harm." The nun goes, "Even that one?" And she's almost asking you directly, "Even you?"
I don't mean you any harm. Unless you attack us first.
"We have no intent to attack," the one by the wagon says. The one by the door says, "I am Esd Avner, and this is my friend Irina. We have come to explore and make rest to the ghosts of the House of Lament. If you mean us no harm and you truly wish to help, you can certainly help us unload our wagon into the home. However, know that at a moment I am willing to strike you down should you provide a threat. Irina is very rarely mistaken when she fears someone." Irina then chimes in and says, "If you help us, you said you were lost in the mist? If you help us with our investigation, when we're done here, we can guide you into town, or you can be on your way."
I look at the rest of the party and see, poor souls in need of help. Did I not say so?
Mm-hmm. I suppose.
The two women look at each other, sort of like confused at your statement.
That's okay.
Do you try to talk to them further, or just immediately get to helping them?
I would immediately get to helping them.
Yep. Try to be very non-threatening, since they obviously fear me for some reason.
While you're helping, Irina would actually look at you then, sort of as an aside, and be like, "My apologies. I can sense I am greatly aware of your kind." Ez hushes her and says to the party, "She means we are keenly aware of them that are lost in the mist. We have heard several such occurrences wherein strangers become lost and then arrive in unexpected places." Heathcliff, you know that that's not what Irina meant.
Yep.
In fact, can you give me an insight check?
Sure.
You can do it at advantage. If anybody else wants to, they're more than welcome to try. I don't know if you guys care about the interaction between Irina and Heathcliff.
What am I rolling?
Insight, if you would like to.
Okay. And then you said with advantage?
He got it at advantage.
Okay. So
Everybody else gets it normal. If they choose. Are you rolling it?
It didn't pop up.
Drop it. Did it actually successfully drop in the chat box?
I think so. Here, let me do it again.
Sometimes it glitches out. If I don't see a roll on my end, I gotta ask for a reroll, unfortunately.
Didn't count it again. And that was in the middle of the chat box.
Okay, that's weird. I'm going to do a test roll for you. Insight. It rolls on my end.
But doesn't show up in the chat box.
Well, it didn't show up in my chat box because I currently have it set to speak as me. If I change it to speak as you, I can then roll it again. But I'm just going to share what it rolled when I rolled it in the chat box.
Okay.
So, with a 21. Heathcliff, you figure it out. Eclipse, you sort of already knew it. Irina is also a damp fear.
Interesting.
Very interesting.
So the nun is a demi-vampire.
Would my divine sense pick up on that?
If your divine sense were active, it might. Technically, they're not undead. So I would give you, if your divine sense was active, I would give you an advantage on the check. So, Heathcliff, you realize that she is a damp fear. And that's obviously why she's nervous about you. Do you say anything, or do you let it go undiscussed?
I would let it go undiscussed, but give her a knowing look.
She just sort of like nods at you, like it's an understood conversation between the two of you, just happened completely in eye contact. You are aware that she's afraid of you because she knows you're connected to vampires, and now you know why she knows you're connected to vampires.
Yep, I would continue.
Unloading.
Sorry.
Do you guys ask them any questions once you're unloaded into the house?
I asked them if they possibly have anything to help with my wounds.
They say, certainly, once we have this unloaded, we shall take some downtime and rest before we continue our investigation. We see that you appear to be injured. You all look like you've gone through some battle, though you appear to be the only one damaged.
I appreciate it.
Aha, I found a picture.
Uh-huh.
Sharing. Share record. It didn't share. Sharing.
I
Shared
can see the
house.
house.
Oh, there it goes. It was just taking a second to load on my end. So that is the house that you find yourself outside of.
Forget it. I'll just go up and knock on the door.
The door's open. You guys are carrying stuff in the front door.
Oh. Then yeah, I'll carry a load in.
Yeah, I was just trying to pull up a picture for you. And I'm glad I got at least one.
I know they mentioned an investigation and putting spirits at ease, but exactly what? All right, I'm gonna rephrase that. I know you said that you're on an investigation and that you're currently here putting spirits at ease, but can I get some more information on what we're looking for and how we're going to be going about this?
So while you're asking that, Gherkin, wanders into the house with a pile of stuff. As he wanders in, Girk, out of the corner of your eye, you see a dog that it just comes running past you at the front door, stops and whimpers at you, and just and then disappears. Runs off.
Okay. I just knocked it up to it. A dog being a dog.
Cool.
Sorry, you want some hot dogs?
Go away thing. Okay. You ask them about the investigation.
Yes.
I have to jump between multiple menus here. I apologize.
It's okay.
Well, the house is known to have been owned by the Havrist family, and they say it is the most haunted house in all of Burka. Before the house was built, Irina gestures at the Black Tower and says, there was a keep here, a fortress of old, where it is said dark things happened. Centuries after the tower crumbled, a family built a home here, and more dark things happened. And it is said that any that spend too much time here either go mad or go missing. Ez walks over, puts a hand on your shoulder, and she goes, and that is why we are offering your party 20 gold a day to stay and help us. And then she grabs another box of things to carry inside.
20 gold per the group or 20 gold per person?
Per person.
Okay.
So you guys have been offered this job at this house. It is known to be haunted. Haunted enough they're offering you a small fortune to work for them, to help them investigate.
Investigate a mystery? I'm definitely going to be in.
A mystery
I'm in.
you were sent
down.
here to investigate, no less, but they don't need to know that unless somebody decides to tell them.
Yeah, I'm down.
Okay.
I must know. Right?
All right, this is as good a spot as any to take a bio, so that I can discuss with the group where we go from here. That is, by all rights, the end of the prologue, but there's still multiple chapters to play out. We haven't even played the first real chapter of the story yet. So I'm going to take them as an aside. Audience, feel free to click that follow button if you're enjoying it. We will continue if we can. Otherwise, everybody go take your, bathroom breaks, and we will be back shortly.
Okay.
All right, we are back. I took the time to go ahead and get a map set up for everybody so that we can see where we are headed next. This is the inside of the house. Out here in the front and surrounding the side is the wooden porch that our players found themselves on at one point, as well as they have made it through the foyer and down a hallway into the parlor. In the parlor there's a table, and we see the pair of women setting up around the table. And they suggest that while they're setting up, the players can go ahead and investigate the first floor of the house, but they suggest them not to travel too far. Or we can take a rest here, and after we rest here, they suggest doing a seance to invite the ghosts out. Either way, they're planning to do a seance. The question simply remains, do you guys want to rest first? Do you want the chance to investigate before the seance?
That's a tough one because I really want to investigate, but I really should rest.
That's kind of where I'm at too. Is I want to investigate, but I also want Eclipse to rest. Try to heal up as much as he can.
Abel, do you want to weigh in?
I want to rest.
Okay, rest it is. I am going to trigger a short rest as soon as I figure out how to do it.
Do I get any spell slots from a short rest?
No, but
Dang
you
it.
can spend hit dice and heal. So
That I can do. That I should do.
short rest has been triggered, and then Eclipse on the main page of your character.
Mm-hmm.
Down at the very bottom, you'll see something labeled HD. This is hit dice. You will ultimately have a number of them equal to your amount of levels, and you can spend them on rest. Abel, you weren't wounded. Why did you spend yours?
Wasn't I?
No, you're at full health.
No, I didn't.
Yeah,
I thought.
you guys got back to full health after we finished the fight. I'm the only one that's wounded.
Oh, I missed that.
Way to go, Abel. So, Eclipse, will you be spending your hit dice?
I just rolled it and nothing happened. So that's the second die roll that nothing's happening for me. Let me close out of the program and load back in.
Okay. We can take a moment to wait for you to do that. That's weird that it's giving you issues. Eclipse disconnected. Eclipse connected.
Hold the control key and use the scroll wheel to quickly adjust number fields.
Yeah, I like their little pop-up tips. They come in very handy.
Okay, take 2. Let's see. I don't see the map nor the house anymore. I just see my
Oh,
character
I've got
page.
to reshare it to you. Share record. Can you see it now?
Yes. Okay, so let me go ahead and try and roll again.
I got to pay attention. Apparently, when I share a record, it zooms me out on the map that I'm using
There we go.
for
Okay, that
stream.
fixed it.
Looks like you recovered for 6.
Yep, I am 1 point away from full health.
1 point away is not bad.
And that's better than being, 3 away from death.
It's true. We can live with that. Okay, so now you have the choice. Do you wish to explore or jump straight into a seance?
I would like to explore.
That's Eclipse's vote. Heathcliff, Abel?
If we can explore before the seance, I want to, but I don't want to miss the seance.
Yeah, if we've got
As absolutely explains that we wouldn't start without you. The more there are, the higher chance I have it connecting the other side.
Then I would want to explore first, definitely.
Explore, yep.
Okay, to that end, now that I have a map up, I can give you a few descriptions. Do you guys want to basically back all the way out to the porch and explore the porch? Do you guys want to go down the hallway? Would you guys like to roll an initiative so that we can determine who's first in dungeon crawling order?
I guess we can roll initiative.
Okay.
Yeah.
All I want is for my daughter to succeed, and I know she will at IUPUI. Learn more at iupui.edu/parents.
Well, I'm not going first.
Now the dice rolls aren't counting again.
And you're for sure dropping it dead center of the...
I will literally just not even roll it. I'll just drop it on the chat box.
That rolled.
Oh, there it goes.
So
No, the first time I did, I literally rolled it, and the whole time it rolled, it stayed in the chat box and stopped in the chat box.
So you have to unclick while your mouse cursor is still in the chat box. If you go
Okay.
outside, it will just roll across your entire screen and doesn't count.
So And I have just been informed that somehow my Twitch still thinks that I'm playing Persona, even
Yeah.
though
Yep.
I'm not.
Maybe if you want to, maybe, I guess stop streaming, like reset it.
Well, I changed it in OBS. OBS should send that signal for me, but I know how to change it in on the studio for Twitch, but I shouldn't have to do that. There's no point. Like, it's the point of having it in OBS is that OBS manages it.
Yeah. Maybe OBS is faulty.
Yeah, my OBS is making me mad. But that's okay. It is technically fixable. Problem for another time.
It's like, oh look, this streamer's playing Persona. Haha, gotcha. We're playing D&D.
Right? We have lured you in.
You've been trapped.
It's so annoying, though, that it says that. Like, that's alright. I can fix it right here. Exiles into the mists. What's annoying is my tags are right, and I updated my tags from OBS.
I was just chastised by Bengali because I didn't make a they never saw it coming pun. And I am very disappointed that I didn't make that pun.
Okay. Now my Twitch just isn't going to load.
Hey, it's showing up on me. Exiles in the Mist, Dungeons and Dragons.
Yay! That's because I fixed it directly from the website. Make it somebody else's problem. Okay, so we rolled initiatives. Eclipse, you got first. Where would you like to
Yay.
go? Whoa, Eclipse, Heathcliff, why is your token so big?
I'm not rolling on it. I don't know.
You must be.
No, it was me. I was trying to open my map big or make my map bigger.
Ah.
Okay, so where do I want to explore?
You've already gone through the parlor and the porch and the hallway, and you're in. Well, technically you're in the parlor. I can go ahead and read the description of the parlor if you would like, if you want to look around this room before you go anywhere else.
Yes.
Okay. Now that you've taken the time to take stock of this room that you're in, dozens of faded portraits cover this parlor's walls, the subject's eyes fixed on a circular table that bears an ornate spirit board in the middle. A wide mirror hangs over a tall fireplace set in the north wall.
Okay.
I expected more. You stopped so suddenly.
I will. Do you want me to move my token to where I want to go?
Yes. What's everybody's passive investigation if you're not going to roll and investigate in the room so that I know? So passive investigation is 10 plus the number. So in your particular case, it's a 1. That gives you an 11 for an investigate Eclipse.
Okay. Or I can just roll for it.
You could just roll for it. Before you do, though, I'm trying to get everybody's passives.
Gotcha.
I got
You got a what?
10.
10?
I had a
Yeah.
passive 13.
13. Okay. Yeah, the only thing that stands out in this room besides the portraits is you guys carried in stacks of books to this room.
Wait a minute. Doesn't your passive take into account your proficiency if you're proficient in it?
Yes.
So mine would be a 15.
No, yours would be a 13. Your intelligence is 1, your proficiency is 2.
Oh, it already. Yes, it automatically adds it in. I'm sorry. I'm tired.
It's okay. So yeah, other than what was described in the description, you guys, there's stacks of books that you guys brought in on a variety of, you know, things in regards to occult lore, from hauntings to, um, you know, just anything occult you can sort of expect to be in these books.
Okay. Well, if that's the case, I will go ahead and investigate the foyer.
Everybody else, do you follow him?
Yes.
Yes, I would follow him as well.
To the ends of the earth I shall follow thee.
Peeling wallpaper and a musty scent cling to the walls of this spacious foyer. A curving staircase rises from the cracked tile floor to a balcony above, keeping its distance from a darkened chandelier. Doors lead in every direction, which means technically there's a door like here, I think. Boom, check that out. There's a door.
You're a door.
And a door here. Doors lead in every direction. At the room's center, a bronze sculpture of an antlered eagle perches atop a marble pedestal.
I want to go take a peek at the eagle. And yeah, I will go ahead and investigate the eagle.
Okay. Roll me an investigation check.
I'll help.
So that means roll it again, but roll it with advantage.
Okay. Do you may just roll it one more time?
No, re-roll it with advantage.
Okay.
Which got you less, unfortunately.
Yeah. You coming to help made me do worse.
You distracted him.
When you lean in to study the features on this antlered eagle, its head leans forward and winks at you. Like straight up, just leans forward and wink, and then goes back into position.
Fascinating.
Do you tell anybody that this happened?
I let them know I saw. I was like, I believe the head of this eagle just winked at me.
Heathcliff, you were helping him with the investigation. The eagle head didn't move.
Are you sure about that? Because I didn't see anything.
Maybe it was a trick of the light, but I could have sworn I did.
Well, to each his own. You guys keep saying my shadow's moving on its own.
Okay. Anybody else want to do anything in this room? Heathcliff, technically, well, you helped. So, Abel Gherkin, they're discussing whether or not this thing winked at him. What are you doing? Do you move onto another room, check out the porch?
I go over to the eagle statue and I pick it up and I kind of like bang it on the pedestal.
You can't pick it up.
Oh, it's not that big.
It's
not that small.
enormous.
Oh, is there like a candlestick or something in the room?
There are sconces on the walls with torches in them, or with lanterns on them.
I take one of the torches out and I bang it on the eagle.
There's a hollow sound, just clunk, 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 but that's it.
Huh. I relay that. Well, I guess they would have heard that it was hollow.
Yep. Eclipse, they don't believe you.
Nothing new. I guess I reached up to see, like, feel around the eagle, see if there's anything special about the statue itself.
It just seems
Like
like a
touch-
solid statue.
Okay. Hmm. Okay, well, if that's the case, I say before we go upstairs, we looked at one of the doorways here. Does anyone have a preference on which one we go through?
No.
I would like to go towards the tower. Or at least the base of the tower. That would be to the left over here.
Okay, well, let's go that way then.
Okay.
I couldn't go through the door. They wouldn't let me.
Oh, maybe it's because it's my turn?
No, it's because the room is darkened.
Ah.
It's a closet.
Congrats, you found a closet.
Cool. Is there
Keith?
anything interesting in it?
I will tell you in just a moment.
An oubliette. Come on, someone get that reference.
I
Wait,
get
I
the
didn't-
reference. He said an oubliette. Keith, my apologies, Heathcliff. Whoops, wrong button. Wrong button again. You open the door, Heathcliff, and you notice a woman, a beautiful woman, clad in a red dress, adjusting coats. And when she turns around to look at you, you're taken aback, and you hear Eclipse coming up behind you. You look back at Eclipse, and when you look back at the room, she's gone. The coats that were hanging there are even missing. It is an empty closet.
Wasn't there just a woman in there with some coats?
Eclipse, you
assuming
saw
I can-
nothing.
Yeah. Not that I can see. It looks like a pretty bare closet from my angle.
I would wager that this place is playing tricks on our minds.
Would not surprise me.
Abel, give me a history check, please.
I need you to roll it for me.
Abel.
Do you
history.
just want Abel to do it, or you want everyone
Just
to do
Abel.
it? Dang it.
Nope. Nothing. It was a memory check for his memory.
Mm.
So, yeah, you find a closet. Next.
I guess
that brings it back to the top of initiative again, Eclipse.
All right, well, let's go to the door on the opposite side then. No, it's much bigger than a closet.
It is much bigger than a closet. You are not wrong. It appears to be a simple sitting room. A small desk in a corner, a chair and a table, a couple of tables, and a fireplace.
Okay, well, if that's the case, I will go take a peek at the desk.
Certainly. Roll me an investigate check.
Investigation.
Nat,
Huzzah.
nat 20. You find miscellaneous odds and ends of trinkets just scattered across the desk. One of the drawers appears to be locked, but as you rattle it and pull it open, it pops open from age and decay. And inside you find birth certificates for the children of the Havarest family.
Interesting. I guess I'll go ahead and snag those. They might be, useful information later.
Go to your character sheet, inventory. Under equipment, like that bar that says equipment, you'll see a plus sign on it. If you click add item,
got it.
There'll be a blank line in there. On that blank line, just type in Havarest birth certificates. Havarest is spelled Halvrest.
Okay.
Okay. Heathcliff. You see him rattle a drawer. What do you do?
I would like to investigate this other table down here.
It's just a simple wooden table with chairs beside it.
Oh.
So might I suggest maybe looking at the fireplace?
Yeah, it was going to be my next thought, was look at the fireplace. I would like to investigate the fireplace.
Roll it.
15.
As you're looking into the fireplace, investigating it, you hear a sound just to the right of you that sounds like footsteps. Do you look up?
Yes.
The woman in the red dress walks towards you, approaching in such a way that when she passes through you, you don't even feel it. Seems to be heading northward through the door to the north, but when you turn to look, she's gone. She walked right behind Eclipse.
I would ask Eclipse or I would tell Eclipse that the woman that I saw in the closet just walked through me and through the north door. And that I think it might be a good idea to go up there and investigate.
Yeah, I have no problems with that.
Okay. Abel Gherkin, they have made it into the next room. They're exploring a fireplace and a table. What would you like to do?
I would investigate the room further. I guess using perception check.
With a perception check, you simply notice that, without a roll, you simply notice the room has 3 doors, the one you came in, one to the southeast, and one to the north. You hear Heathcliff suggesting that they need to travel north.
Then that's the door I would check.
This hall is lined with broken picture frames. A rug with dizzying geometric patterns covers the floor. And what the heck, to the far north, you hear a dog whimpering. The same one that you're certain you saw walk out of the house earlier, run out of the house earlier. It whimpers and then runs into a side room.
Follow the dog this time.
You what?
I would follow the dog this time.
Is this something only he sees?
Yep. Well, you guys are in the other room still.
Oh, that's fair.
All right. Eclipse. Your turn, buddy.
All right. Well, let's see here. I guess I will go ahead and follow and investigate the room that we just found.
There are doorways as well on the path that you just walked through. There's a door, a door to the right there, and a door to the left, which leads back to the parlor.
Okay, if that's the case, I'll go through the right door.
Chairs and candelabras covered in dusty sheets attend this hall's broad dining room table. Still life paintings depicting multiple grand feasts hang on all the walls, their faded oils making the food look rotten.
Okay.
Several doors open to this room, the one you just came in. One to the north, which you assume leads to the room that Abel is wandering into. And then a sliding door leads to the south. The chairs have sheets over them. One chair has a conspicuous child-sized form seated under it, under the sheet.
So out of curiosity, I go and lift the sheet on that chair.
You just walk straight up to it, unfazed.
That's what I do.
Beneath the sheet sits a ragged doll in a frilly red dress. A white patch covers a missing button eye.
I will go ahead.
Before you go any further, I need to roll this button. You hear a dog growling in the south of the room, like just full on, just hurr, 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 hurr. Do you look up at it?
I do.
When you look up at it, there's nothing there, and you realize the growling sound is coming from beside you. When you look down, the doll is staring at you through its one patched eye, and the growling sound of the dog is coming from it.
See, I'm really wanting to try and pick up the doll.
Do you reach out for it?
I do.
You grab it. The growling stops. It's just a doll.
Okay. Well, I guess I'll hold on to the doll for the time being.
Heathcliff, your turn.
Okay. So Fick went
Abel went all the way to the end.
Yeah, you can see him standing in a doorway. You cannot see Eclipse at first when you first step into the next room. Into the hallway.
Okay. Well, seeing Abel down at the end, I would go into the room with the table.
You would just hang it right through the other open door here? The one that Eclipse is in?
Yeah.
Yeah, you enter and find him holding a doll.
I'd give him a strange look, but not so strange. More of a, why do you have a doll, and not a, where did that doll come from?
Which, of course, Eclipse, you do see this look on his face of, why are you holding a doll?
But I would want to continue down and search this other door down south here.
Okay. You slide the wooden panel open to reveal overstuffed furniture facing a handsome concert harp that is dramatically sculpted with a flock of flying doves coming from it. This dusty room holds saggy, damp, no longer plush furnishings.
Interesting. I would want to investigate the harp.
Roll me an investigation check.
10.
Roll me a wisdom saving throw.
Uh-oh.
15.
Haha! You find yourself really, really, really wanting to play this ornate 6-foot-tall harp. You can see that it weighs probably, I mean, it weighs as much as a man. It's 200-300 pounds. But the moment you sort of laid hands on it while investigating, I chose you laid hands on it because you rolled a 10, you felt compelled to play, but you haven't yet.
I
Do you resist?
yes.
Okay.
I would go back and tell both Eclipse and Abel that there's a harp in that last room that, while I was investigating it, made me really want to play it.
So we'll put you about here, and you holler that over to Eclipse. Abel, your turn. You have made it into the north room. The north room is the kitchen. A rack previously suspended from this kitchen ceiling has crashed to the floor, crushing a table and scattering rusted pots and pans and cooking implements. A sizable iron stove is built into the north wall, and several doors lead from this room. That is to say, a door to the porch, a door to the room that the other two fellas are in, and then you actually see like a pair of stairs that seem to lead out of the room downward.
I would stick my head in the door with my comrades and let them know what I found.
Hey guys, I found the kitchen, he says.
Hmm. Well, I guess that's. I suppose that makes sense if this is the dining room.
Would that make the room that I just came out of the
Music room.
I was going to say drawing room, but music room works.
As he points out, hey, I found the kitchen. Ah, yes, this is the dining room. Oh, that must be the music room. Abel, behind you, the oven door flops open with a ka-tung on the ground, on the front of it. Just a ka-tung as it like hits the ground. Open door.
I definitely look at that.
Sitting inside of the oven is a sweet roll.
Oh, jeez.
Apparently, this kitchen wants to feed us sweets.
Oh, how I wish I had a spell slot right now.
I'm surprised the paladin hasn't been using his divine sense at the moment.
I keep forgetting about it. Yeah, that's what I would do.
Oh, it's going off the charts. You are surrounded by undead. Like the whole house. It is you're inundated with so much that if you
The house itself is undead.
the house itself almost resonates of being an undead entity. You do sense something nearby in this room that you're in, though. It's not undead. You're not sure what it is.
We're not alone, guys.
It wouldn't have anything to do with this doll I'm holding, is it?
You notice the
What am I
doll he's
getting from
holding.
the doll?
No, it's a doll.
No. A little creepy, but no.
Does anybody grab the sweet?
No.
Nope.
Okay. You just leave it sitting there?
Yep.
The door, almost in response to the thought of, I ain't touching that, the door to the oven just slowly and closes.
Okie doke.
Does anybody react to Heathcliff saying there's a harp in the music room that
That
is
would be
this
me.
gorgeous harp, but that seems to make him want to play it?
I'm very curious about seeing this harp.
Okay, do you head down into the room?
I do.
Okay, cool. I mean, we're technically back at the top of initiative, so you come into the room. You see this 6-foot tall harp. Nearly 300 pounds. Do you investigate it?
I do.
Do you touch it?
Oh. In the process of my investigation and my curiosity, I do.
Okay.
I have to keep the character.
Roll me a wisdom saving throw.
Which, luckily for me, is my best saving throw.
Yeah, it's a good one for you, I'm sure.
I'm not.
You reach
It
out
would've been worse.
and begin to play it. Roll me a performance check. You suddenly realize you know a song called Blood Tears of Claveria. You know that it was written by the composer Lyron Evensong.
And there we go.
And it is just downloaded into your brain. 17 for your performance check. You spend the next 60 seconds, the next minute, flawlessly playing a fast-paced, glass-sharp tune that you have never heard before. You can't stop playing until you have reached the end of the song. Does anyone try to, like, yank him off of it?
No.
I would.
You do?
Yep.
Strength check.
Well, this is going to go great. Nope, not a save, just a check.
He's in the middle of playing, and it's the most beautiful, most perfect playing, but the tune is sharp and painful and fast. And when you yank him off of it, his mind just comes to. And you realize that you were compelled to play it. Eclipse.
So, I'm going to suggest no one touch the harp.
Didn't I just say that?
You are certain. You are certain beyond a shadow of a doubt that compulsion has faded.
So,
That
question,
whatever it was has passed on to you.
Oh, okay. That's what I was going to ask. Well, okay then. So I still know the song.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You know it, and you know that Lyran Evensong wrote it. You can add it to
right.
notes somewhere if you want, but it's the Blood Tears of Claveria.
Let's see.
And as you walk away, it doesn't give me a roll for it. You notice your fingers are bleeding, and you take a point of damage.
Oh, fantastic.
Heathcliff, you used your turn to yank him off of it.
Works for me.
Abel, you hear them playing the song in the south. You see Heathcliff run through the door, and you presumably he grabbed him because the music stops. What do you do?
I'm looking real quick. Hang on. I start humming the tune and wander into the room.
Down where they are?
Yeah.
So I'm fairly certain my character is the pure definition of curiosity killed the cat.
Yeah. Yeah, you'd believe it, because about the time that Abel enters the room... Oops, that last thing shouldn't have popped up. You take another point of damage. Your fingers just don't want to stop bleeding.
Oh, even better. Okay.
And because he had to spend basically a double move to get down to the room, do you say anything to him before I pass turn to Eclipse?
No.
Okay.
Is there anywhere where my medicine skill would come in handy at stopping this bleeding?
You can certainly try.
Oh, I love that phrase.
Haha. Nope. But you do know that it's...
Wait. Oh,
That was the wrong skill.
Aha! Roll it again.
I thought I grabbed medicine.
$22. Yeah, you can bandage it, but what you know is for 3 more rounds, you're going to take damage. Imagine what would happen if you had failed that save. So I'm going to go ahead and roll the next 3 rounds worth of damage as you're patching yourself. So that's 2 I don't mean to keep clicking and dragging things in there. 2, 4. So that is 5 damage you have taken because of the harp.
Good thing I took that rest.
Yes. Otherwise you'd be unconscious and bleeding out. Eventually you get the bleeding to stop, and that will take your whole turn.
That's what I figured.
Heathcliff, you see him like struggling to get his fingers to stop bleeding. The whole time, though, he is still humming the song, right along with Abel, who was humming it. It's like it's become his subconscious working song while he's trying to bandage.
I really want to get him out of this room and away from the harp, but I also don't want to drag him around, like to drag him out.
He seems cognitively aware enough that you know that once he's done bandaging himself, he can get himself out of this room.
Okay.
And I'm gonna tell Abel not to touch the harp.
Okay.
Abel's like, I wasn't gonna, but thanks.
And yeah.
You guys have explored all of this side of the house, basically.
I would move on to the other side.
Technically speaking, there is a room you haven't checked. At the top north of the hall, there was a door, like straight north. I'm going to go ahead and clear that, though, because the door was open, and it was just another closet.
There's also this little, looks like a door on the top of the kitchen.
There's a door out to the porch, and then there's stairs that appear to be going... I can't tell. I think they're going up. They might be going down.
I would say down.
Yeah, I think they're going down.
Hang on a second. My dogs are going ape shit. I need to go figure out what's going on.
Okay. Oh my goodness, the creepy song that's currently playing is Tetris.
Right?
So,
I was just thinking that. And it just got faster.
Heathcliff, what are you doing?
Well, let's see here. We explored this side. So I would want to...
You had originally wanted to explore the tower.
Yeah.
There's another door over there you guys haven't checked.
Yeah, because it goes to the hallway. So I would go to the hallway and then want to go south. Here.
Okay.
You can grab me, right? Yeah.
Yep. That's a double move, more or less, to get there. So I'll put that you can see into
Open
the
the door.
room, but not really go into it yet.
Sorry,
That's
my
fine.
neighbor's fire alarm was going off. There, burnt something on the stove.
Gotcha. So yeah, you make it over to this room, Heathcliff. Moody landscapes and dour busts atop marble pedestals collect dust in this modest gallery. In an alcove to the east stands a larger-than-life onyx statue of an athlete wrestling monstrous, disembodied tentacles. To the west, a wall made of black stone curves into the room, which you assume is the tower. An arch opening into a darkened space beyond. So each of the little squares in this room are little statuettes. And then there's one big square in that little alcove that is a man fighting some sort of disembodied tentacles. And because I can, let's have another haunting. Generate. Laying in front of the arch that leads to the Black Tower is a dog, just laying there curled up in front of the archway.
At Kroger, shopping with pickup and delivery is the same as shopping in store. Same low prices, deals, and rewards on the same high-quality items. It's one small click for groceries, one big win for busy families everywhere. Start your cart today at Kroger.com.
So what do you do when you see him? Before I pass turn to Abel.
Wait, are you asking me or you?
I'm still waiting for Heathcliff before I pass
Okay.
to you.
Me. So I see a dog show up in a room full of statues.
Well, you open the door and see a room full of statues with a dog laying in front of a darkened archway.
It wouldn't. I don't know.
It's a dog.
You notice he has a collar on.
Can I see what it says?
Not from where you're at. Well, I mean, you can make a
Okay.
perception check.
I'll try it.
Question: what's the difference between perception and investigation?
Perception is things you immediately spot, smell, or hear. See, smell, or hear. Investigate is actually rifling through things. Investigation with charisma, as opposed to intelligence, can also be used when you're talking to someone when you're doing an investigation. With that roll, Heathcliff, you cannot see what the collar says, but you do see that it has a tag on it.
Cool.
All right. Abel Gherkin. Heathcliff has once again wandered off.
I follow him, and when I see the dog, I will go up to it and try and read the tag.
When you get there, there is no dog.
Oh,
That's disappointing.
Also, at this point, you wouldn't be aware there's a collar on it just yet. His passive perception was high enough to see the collar.
ah,
So double move is what it takes to get over to that room. You see into the room,
okay.
which, like I said before, there's several statues in the room.
Perception check.
Okay. Do you need me to roll it, or you got it?
I got it.
Okay. With a 15. With a 15, you notice that while all of the busts in the room are dusty and old and ragged, the statue in this little alcove just to the east of the door when you first step down in there, the one of a man fighting a disembodied tentacle creature, seems to be all but polished. Like, it's positively clean compared to the other ones.
Notice something?
Just that it's clean.
And I pointed up. I pointed up. I say it out loud. Notice something, and I point to the clean statue.
All right. Eclipse, they have left your bloody ass alone.
With the harp. I might add.
But the heart no longer has its thing, so apparently I do. Just troublesome. Possibly troublesome anyway. I guess I'll just go ahead and follow them.
As you go to step out of the door, to walk into the foyer to go towards them, or to walk into this sitting room and then the foyer, a dog comes through. And it, like, stops and looks up at you for a second, and then just sort of whimpers, and then goes running past.
Like, pass me into the harp room?
Into the harp room.
I watch it. Do I see it?
You turn to watch it, and by the time you blink and turn, it's a blink and you missed it moment. The dog is gone.
Dang it. My goal is to pet this dog at some point.
I respect
all
that.
the love.
I respect that. Is this a, do you double move to catch up with the rest of the party?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
And
That, do you say anything to him when you get there?
it's like, I just saw a dog who vanished in front of my eyes before I could pet it.
I did it look like, and I described the dog that I saw earlier.
It's the exact same dog. And
Very much
for
so.
your knowledge, Heathcliff, it's the exact same dog. So we're now aware there's a ghost dog wandering around the place. And as far as describing the dog, it's a shaggy. Have you guys ever seen Benji?
Yes.
Yes.
It's Benji. I'm sure
Okay.
Keith hasn't seen Benji. Have you seen Benji, Heathcliff?
Nope.
Just
Is there any movie you have seen? Jesus.
we made him watch Princess Bride the other night, so there's that.
Oh, good choice.
Yes, it's so it's just a shaggy, sort of a terrier but larger, grayish tan hair. Think like a Scotty, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Heathcliff, it's your turn.
So there was one statue in here that was cleaner than the rest?
Yep.
I would like to investigate it.
Investigate.
And if I can, not touch it. After watching what happened with Eclipse, I don't think I'm going to be touching much in this house.
Nope.
Okay.
13. Whoa, sorry, 11.
You realize very quickly that the figure of the man that is fighting these disembodied tentacles, his eyes are open. There are no eyeballs. His eyes are open. You realize that the inside of the statue is hollow. There's a cavity inside of it.
Okay. Did I find a way to get into the statue?
Short of smashing it, no.
Interesting. All right. That would be it.
That's it. Do you point out to the rest of the party that it's got a hollow cavity inside of it?
Yes, I would do that.
Abel Gherkin, it is your turn. He's studying this statue and points out that it is hollow. There's a cavity inside.
Following my character traits, I toppled the statue over to try and break it.
What character trait are you following out of curiosity?
I like to break things.
Have yourself an inspiration point. I'll add it to your character sheet.
I got it.
You got it? Okay. Swing at it.
Hang on.
If it helps, you
I
have
enjoy-
advantage to hit.
I enjoy being strong and I like breaking things.
Did you roll that with advantage?
No, I did not.
Roll it with advantage.
I can do that.
You successfully hit. Roll your damage. Actually, because of how it's set up, you can actually roll your damage as though it were a crit. So, roll. So the way you roll your damage and get an extra dice on it, just so you know, Girk, is
Okay.
when you click your. Where's your actions tab? When you click your weapon damage and go to drag it over, before you drop it, right click. If you right click, you'll increase the dice.
So question real quick. What's this inspiration point thing you're talking about?
I'll tell you in just a moment. 11 points of damage. Your sword shatters through this thing and it basically just like bursts when it does. Inspiration points. Now they're usable for multiple things, but the long and short of it is, the way that I use them is, if you fail a roll, if you look at a roll and think you might have failed, before I tell you whether or not it's a success or failure, you can interrupt it and be like, I don't like that roll. I'm going to spend my inspiration point to roll again.
Okay, and you earn them by following your
You
traits?
earned them by following your traits or doing something that's just successfully role play enough that it gets my attention for me to be like, heck yeah, that was cool, have an inspiration. I, as a GM, I love handing them out like candy. So you make a pun that's funny, I'm going to be like, have an inspiration point. The other thing I do is at the beginning of each session, I do not recap. I ask my players to recap. The player that volunteers to recap and gives the good recap earns you basically stand a chance to earn an inspiration point simply by recapping the previous session.
Okay.
So those are the long and shorts of inspiration points.
You can give them to other players too. So, like, I have one right now. I could theoretically just say I give it to you.
Yep. Or if another player fails a roll, you can spend it. You can spend your own to have them roll.
Okay.
As you shatter this statue, Abel Gherkin, a helmed figure leans out of the shattering bust, and it's wearing a skull-faced helmet. And as it like smokes out of this statue, it pulls itself past you, and you hear a voice in your ear say, "Ask for me." But when you turn to look, it's already gone. But that's all that happens. Now you smash the thing. Inside of the thing, we get
Smash thing.
a crumbling scrap of parchment is laying inside the smashed statue.
Let me guess. It says, "Do not smash the statue."
It does not. Do you pick it up and try to read it?
Yes.
In the common tongue, it says, "Shadowed fingers, eyes like glass, beware the below." And it's initialed, signed L. Dolan.
Anyone make sense of this? And I pass it off to the rest of the group.
Eyes like glass.
People can make Arcana checks on it if they wish.
Oh, I'll do that.
You get advantage. Eclipse gets advantage. Anybody else gets it normal roll. So to roll with advantage, Eclipse, you down
click.
at the bottom of the screen, you click that ADV
Okay.
before your roll. So Heathcliff got a 9. It's gibberish to you, buddy.
I get that. Okay, click that and then.
Excellent.
Eclipse, the amber stone in your pocket feels like it's vibrating again. And you are all but certain, yep, just Eclipse figures it out. You are all but certain that this is a warning about unknowable entities, old ones, dark ones. Innistrad, before you left, had encountered its first, and you know all about it.
Very much so. Okay, well, trying to think of how to portray this. An item from where I'm from, and this is me telling them, the item from where I'm from is warning me that this passage is dealing with something very old and very powerful.
Anyone can make a religion check or an arcana check now, once again, with advantage against his description.
My daughter won't stop talking about college, and IUP She loves that they have the major she wants. And I love that she'll earn a prestigious university, all for an affordable price.
Do you guys make the roll?
I'm working on it. No.
Nothing. You could have made it with religion as well, like I said, a religion or arcana,
Yeah, but
whichever side.
religion has no modifier.
Gotcha. Heathcliff, do you try again?
No.
Nope. You just accept it's about something dark and evil and old, eh?
Yeah.
A warning, beware the below.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Eclipse, we'll count that as your turn because you were studying and talking about it and thinking about it. That makes it Heathcliff's turn.
Go and hear that.
I would like to finally explore the first level of this tower.
Okay. I do want to be clear. There are no light sources in here. Do you have dark vision?
Yes.
Okay, so you'll be seeing this in low light. Wind moans through the open interior of the ancient tower that is attached to the manor. Stairs curve from the floor to circle the dark granite walls and vanish into a chamber high above.
I would want to go upstairs, but we were told not to. So I don't see anything under the staircase as it spirals up.
Give me a perception check.
To make sure I actually roll the right one this time. 23.
Standing against the wall is a suit of armor under the stairs. It is like it's like a knight suit of armor, but it is old and haggard. I wish I could share to just one player, but I guess I'm going to share to all. And this is it looking animated. Ignore that it's animated.
Okay.
It has a skull helmet on it.
Yeah, that's not totally not creepy or nothing. I want to investigate it.
Fair. Do you walk up to it?
Yes.
All right. It is ethereal. The moment you walk up to investigate, it just disappears in a puff of smoke as though it were never there.
Awesome.
Abel Gherkin, you see him wander into the room over on the side.
See, what would I do? I guess I'd just follow him. Kind of play bodyguard.
Okay. Heathcliff, you noticed that basically it turned into a puff of smoke the moment he entered the room.
Okay. I'd tell him that there was a suit of armor here that disappeared as soon as he walked in.
Do you describe it?
Yes. I would describe it.
G. Abel,
Nice
it sounds like the thing that you saw come out of the statue as you smashed it.
Fun.
The thing that you said that said ask for me.
I need a name.
You guys do remember that there are stacks of books and history. You have two other investigators you can talk to about the things that you found. So, Eclipse.
Okay. See, I could. My map wants to let me move. Move map. Thank you. I am actually gonna leave the room and enter. This looks like a door right to the left of the hallway.
It is.
I'm going to go through that one. Ooh, small room. I like small room.
It's another sitting room. Desk in the center, some overturned chairs, some chairs by a fireplace. This house has lots of fireplaces.
I'm not surprised it doesn't have central air.
Okay, well, I guess I will. Will a perception roll help here?
It would.
Okay, I will go ahead and roll for perception. Rolled a 20.
You notice a 7-foot-tall man standing next to the table in the center. He is dressed in black servant's clothes. He just sort of looks at you and nods, and then leans over the papers on the table and starts adjusting them.
I try and ask him. Well, I guess I try and ask him about the papers.
He says nothing. He simply continues adjusting the papers. Once he believes they are straight enough, he moves to the fireplace and pulls out a duster and begins dusting it.
Okay. Can I take a look at at least the top paper so I don't have to disturb his pile?
You absolutely can. With your 20, you can see it. When you get over there and take a look, it's illegible. It is so ancient and old and decrepit and covered with dust that, first off, you're certain that if you pick it up, it will just crumble. And it's so old that the ink is all but faded.
The cantrip mending wouldn't help here, would it?
Mending repairs what is broken. It does not restore what has...
Okay, that's what I figured.
Faded from age, yeah.
Okay. Anything else I see?
Nope. And in fact, when you look up to look around the room, the man is gone.
Okay. And at least from the looks of the map, it looks like there is a dresser drawer on the other side of me. I go like right here.
Yep. Again, filled with stuff so old that the moment the air touches them, it starts to crumple and fall apart.
Okay, so pretty much nothing else in this room.
Mm-mm.
Okay. Okay.
Heathcliff.
Turning around and walking out, I see that Eclipse has gone, so I pop in here to see essentially what he found, if there's anything else to look at.
No.
And if not, I would try to move on to the next room, which feels like it would be a double move.
It is.
So I would open the door.
Opening the door and peering inside. It's another sitting room. The table in the center has a wash basin on it. Ceramic. Dried of water long ago. You can see the fireplace, some chairs, and a table in the corner.
Okay.
Okay, Abel Gherkin.
I'm going to continue following people and just play bodyguard. Roll perception checks on any new rooms.
There is another room to the north, the last room as far as you know, at the end of the hallway. And then there's technically, so at the very end of the hallway that Heathcliff is in. At the very north, there's a door leading straight north, and then there's a door to the right that would lead to a room north of the parlor.
I will go. I will check out the door straight north.
Okay. Gotta get your token up there. Whoops, I'm still in mask mode. Which is a double move, so you're able to push the door open. The conservatory. Desiccated vines sprawl across the tables and foggy glass walls of this conservatory. Rusted gardening tools and pots of barren soil lie scattered across sturdy wooden tables. As soon as you open the door, between eye blinks, the conservatory is alive and filled with flowers. A transparent woman with a veiled hat and a parasol strolls through the room. She pauses here and there to admire a bloom or adjust a pot, and then looks towards you. As suddenly she appeared, she vanishes, and the room lies in ruin once more.
I yell back. I say, "This place is trying to tell us a story. We need to figure it out."
What is your passive perception?
I think 13. Let me check. Give me a second. Come on, open. Thank you. Skill. Oh, an 11.
An 11. Sweet. You don't notice in time. As you begin glancing around the room and the vision fails, implements, trowels, little shovels, trowels, gardening trowels, little forked things, and gardening implements of all type begin to levitate off the tables and come flying at you.
Oh, lovely. I'm getting attacked by the garden.
15 to hit.
That's a miss, I believe.
They impale the walls around you, luckily taking no damage.
Yeah, that's a miss, definitely.
Which is on the plus side because you realize that the veiny garden plants begin reaching off the tables to latch hold of you and are unable to reach you.
I would take, if I could, I'd take a step back and close the door.
Before you even have a chance, we'll get you a step back, but before you even have too much more of a chance to react, the glass in the conservatory windows begins to crack and just creak, and slowly spiderwebbed across the entire room, there is a word that forms across the glass. Uninvited. Your perception check was high enough to notice that in one corner of the room, a single potted plant is still alive. Inexplicably. But that passes us back to Eclipse. Eclipse, you hear movement in the hallway as Heathcliff pokes his head in and then moves past. And then you hear from the other end of the hallway the sound of just thud, 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 thud as things impale into a wall down the hallway.
Okay.
And then you hear Abel say, "Oh good, the plants are attacking." The garden is attacking.
Well, it's like I hear that and I'm like, well, me being a druid, probably not the worst idea for me to go and help him with the plants. So I will head up towards him.
You notice a writhing mass of plants, and a single plant in a small corner, still alive. You really don't know what there is you can do to stop the other plants from writhing, except you know not to touch them. And the gardening implements are already embedded in the wall, so at the moment, they're not flying at anybody. But you do notice the glass and how it says uninvited cracked across it, scrawled across it.
You said there was one plant still alive?
Miraculously.
I'm going to go and investigate that plant.
Okay, I need you to make me a dexterity saving throw to get across the room without any of the tentacled plants from the tables grabbing you.
Oh, fantastic. 10.
You're able to avoid the plants grabbing you.
Yay!
Isn't that nice? Isn't that special?
Extremely.
You make it over there. Give me a nature check to identify the plant, or are you just going to grab it?
I'm going to do nature check. That's good.
You are unable to identify this sprig with fat blackberries on it.
And you said I could grab it?
You can.
I will attempt to grab it.
Yeah, you pick it up. Adds to your inventory. I'm not currently going to add it to your inventory. Add item unidentified plant.
Okay.
Because if I add it to your inventory, it'll tell you what it is.
Gotcha.
So you can try identifying the plant again later.
I will probably do that on my next turn.
Fair. Technically, I guess
It's like,
you could
what are you
redo
doing?
it multiple times.
This is just the 8th time I'm going to identify the plant.
Okay, Heathcliff. You heard this commotion to the north of you.
I would go up and see that essentially everything is under control. Ish.
And poke your head in the other room.
Yeah. Read the unwelcome on the glass and then go see what's in the darkness.
Quite literally, read the room.
Yeah.
That's funny. Grab your inspiration point, Eclipse. The way you track it is at the very top of your character sheet. I'm going to put a check mark in it right now, but there's a slot that says INSP, I-N-S-P. There's now a check mark in it. Okay.
Okay.
Broken boards mar the web-like design worked into this ballroom's wooden floor. A short stage for long-departed musicians stands at the room's far end, overlooked by cracked stained glass windows.
Cool.
And you do notice there is another door to the north.
All right, let's see here. I can go to about there.
So you just like walk into the room and look around?
Yeah. Yell back that there's another door in here.
Okay. Abel, someone has pointed out there's another room over here with another door.
Let's go check it out.
You poke your head in?
Yep.
The moment you enter the room, both of you, a hollow, mocking voice reaches the two of you, echoing as if from far away. I'll give you a simple choice. Abel, what's your passive insight?
$13.
13. You recognize the voice as being that of the skull-helmeted knight.
Oh, fun.
I will give you all a simple choice, my misguided knights. You can join the Lady Silvra, and I'll entomb you all within my fortress walls. Or, forsake your commander, bear witness to her execution, and then walk free to tell all of Dranzorg's justice. My mercy knows but a moment, friends. Choose! So, Abel and Heathcliff, you have been asked a question, even though this person is talking about something you have no idea what about. But the person has offered to entomb you like he did all of Lady Silvra's people, or to forsake your master, this person, Lady Silvra, that he thinks you work for.
I know not this Lady Silvra.
He ignores
Yeah,
that answer. Join or forsake?
I don't want to be entombed, forsake.
So either join and be entombed or forsake the master that we don't have.
Yep.
I'm gonna forsake the master that we don't have.
All right. You hear a Wilhelm scream just echo throughout the room, an ear-splitting shriek that affects each of you. I need a wisdom saving throw from the both of you.
$15.
All right. 16. So you're both going to take half of this.
Ooh, that's a lot of dice.
You both take 8 points of damage. Aren't you glad it was half?
Haunted Harp ain't looking so bad now, is it?
Your ears begin to bleed. Eclipse, you hear a Wilhelm scream from the other room. That's all you hear.
Oh, okay. That's fantastic. Oh, it's my turn. Okay. I guess I'll first again try to identify the plant
All right.
in nature. Doo-doo.
It is a sprig of belladonna.
Oh, belladonna.
So I
Okay.
need to drag that onto your character sheet. And you can erase the unidentified plant.
Not that one. There we go. That one. Delete. Okay.
Oh my goodness. I can't even tell if it's actually dragging. It's not. Why are you fighting with me? There it goes. And I do want to iterate because Abel had asked about it, saying he needed a name. The voice did say Dranzorg's Justice. So you now have the name Dranzorg to go with the skull-figured person.
Okay.
All right, Eclipse, you identified the plant. Do you move towards the other room?
Yes.
Give me that dex save, please, to avoid the
Okay.
plants.
Come on, plants. Don't be mean to the druid. You were mean to the druid.
This is where you might want to spend that inspiration point.
Yeah, I'm going to do that. Don't be mean to the druid again.
Oh boy.
They really didn't like They're like, okay, you're fine going through the first time.
I need a strength saving throw as vines grab hold of you.
Yeah, wait. Can I give him my inspiration to re-roll that?
You can.
I do.
Oh, well, thank you. All right, third time's the charm. No, what the hell,
I want my
man?
inspiration back.
I want a refund.
All right, now make your strength saving throw.
Maybe that, saved my strength throw, because that would have been my strength throw. It's
Ha.
better.
It didn't. You are currently restrained and begin suffocating immediately as black vines, not only from the tables, but from your own clothing, like your clothing is actually torn as these black vines erupt from you and begin to tighten around your body.
Oh, fantastic.
Guys in the other room, you do hear this commotion as he thuds prone to the floor. Heathcliff, it is your turn.
Great. This is gonna be bad. I'm gonna go help him.
He just runs right through the wall.
Yep.
Right?
He pulls a hole.
Right through the wall.
The vines are focused on him, not you. You don't have to make your dex save. However, if you're trying to help him, I need a strength check as you see it tightening around his throat.
16.
You snap the vines around him and get him free. Do you run from the room with him?
Yeah.
Please do.
You are successfully dragged from the room. The strength check was high enough. I'm not going to make a stink about it. So you both successfully make it out to the hallway. So a bunch of nonsense just went down in two rooms, haunting simultaneously. Excellent.
I can't hear anything, so
Yeah, your ears. You do notice the dried blood in his ears. Are already drying blood.
It seems you two came across your own hauntings, it seems.
That makes it Abel's turn. There's one more door to the north. And then you've explored the entire first level of the house.
Let us check the room to the north then.
At the rear of the room is a closet filled with withered decorations from past celebrations. You notice a faded banner that depicts numerous winged seahorses and the words, "Happy Birthday, Regan and Vastion." But that's it. So you guys have successfully explored that room. Do you guys return to the parlor?
Probably not the worst idea.
yes.
You successfully make it into the room, and Irina is there to greet you at the door. What was all that noise? What happened?
Where
It
did
happened
you
to
get
that.
Everybody talks at once. She's like, whoa, one at a time, one at a time. And she points at, we'll say, Abel.
We met the residents of the house.
You met them? Who did you meet?
One way to put it.
What, Dampier, whatever his name was?
Dranzorg.
Dranzorg?
She puts her hand over her mouth and just sort of gasps. Who else did you meet? What do you mean? And she looks at Eclipse.
Well, let's see. I found a doll that moved, a harp that bled my fingers when I played it. And I learned this song called "The Blood Tears of Clavaria," I believe.
Yes, Claveria.
Clavaria. Found a ghost dog, and I was attacked by plants.
A ghost dog, as interrupts. News? News still wanders the grounds?
If we're speaking of the same canine, then I would say yes.
That was the Halvarus' loyal companion. Belonged to the children, the twins.
We never came across any twins. We did find some birth certificates, though.
Do you look at the birth certificates or show them the birth certificates?
Yes.
Abel, you're part of this group. You can see the birth certificates. They are birth certificates for Vastian and Reagan. The children of Halvarus House. Ez says, well, it seems you've had a trying time. When next you go to explore the house, perhaps it's best if one of us go with you. However, if you would like to get your rest now, as it seems you guys are all pretty beaten up, perhaps we can partake in some food and prepare for the evening. You notice the table, the spirit board is already there and everything. Ez goes, now if only I could find the planchet. Irina mutters something about we packed it in the box. It has to be here somewhere.
We came across a being earlier on the roads, and when he fled, he dropped a planchet, if that works.
Do you hold it out to them?
I do.
Irina grabs it and says, well, this is fortuitous indeed. Perhaps it is destiny that you were meant to be here with us. Take your respite. Eat your food, and before the evening ends, we shall hold our first seance. Now, I'm going to go ahead and ask the group. The seance is where the evening ends, so I can give you guys a short rest, and then seance, and then long rest. But we can save the seance for next session if you would prefer, or we can wrap up the seance as the last event of the evening.
I would like to save it till next time.
Seance for next time. That's one vote for next time.
Next time.
I'm fine with either.
Okay, we'll go ahead and prepare for saving it up for next time. I want to thank everybody in the chat who came out and joined us tonight. I want to thank my players. You guys were awesome. I hope everybody enjoyed themselves.
Very much so.
No one almost died twice.
Yeah, everybody kind of got their butts kicked. I'm going to go ahead and trigger that short rest if you guys want to spend healing surges.
Yes, please.
I have no dice to spend.
Ah, you've already spent yours.
Yes. I didn't get a free thing of healing.
Okay. You guys are doing significantly better. And as for you... Irina says, I'll do what I can to help you with your injuries. And she walks over while everyone else is preparing their meal.
Thank you.
All right. That seems as good a spot as anywhere to wrap up. Like I said, anybody that's enjoyed the show and stuck around this long, good for you. That was like 4 hours of wildness. Anybody that watches this as a VOD or watches it on YouTube, which I will be adding it later, I'll actually be editing it for time to appear on YouTube. Please feel free to click follow and subscribe buttons. Please, please, please. The more attention we can get for this, the better. And next session will hopefully go a lot smoother.
This one wasn't too bad for a first session on Fantasy Grounds.
With
not bad at all.
new software, new people. Yeah, it was
New GM.
Yeah, new GM to the system. Not entirely new GM. I do have 24 years of experience.
Do what I meant.
But yeah, I appreciate all of you, and I appreciate all you fans, and we will catch you next time.
Thanks,
Have a good
guys.
evening.
Audience.
Sounds good.